today I just want to pick one topic, just one topic, and I want to name it energy. I want to name it energy. I hope you get this one. I will try by all means to simplify it so that it is clear to everyone and whoever is listening to today's sermon. My simple topic is called energy. Energy is contagious. You tap onto energy of your meditation. What you meditate on, what you think about, brings forth the energy inside you. Most people have got wrong energy, or they have got energy towards things that cannot change their situation, which makes them to remain the same. In the Bible, there was a discussion about greatness. There was a discussion about greatness. The disciples asked Jesus and said, "Who is the greatest?" Or in other words, they were saying, "Who can become the greatest?" It was a serious discussion because people were seeing greatness in Jesus and they were now anticipating his departure. And they said, "Who is the greatest? Would you anticipate that may be the greatest among ourselves?" So when I come to teach you, what I'm also trying to implement and what I'm trying to push into your life is for you to become the greatest. For you to become the greatest. When I say the greatest, I mean your level of everything, because you and I, we are connected. The fact that we are connected, it is my desire and my prayer that you become the greatest. I mean the greatest in whatever you touch, the greatest in whatever you do. People must see you at the highest position that you can ever be. So the question with the disciples was, who can be the greatest among ourselves? And Jesus answered in the book of Matthew chapter 23 verse 11, New Living Translation. It says, "The greatest among you must be a servant." The greatest among you must be a servant. Okay, the greatest among you must be a servant. When you read it rushing, you do not understand what is saying. But the revelation which is hidden within the context says, when one serves, when one has a mind of serving, because of that serving, it positions you to greatness. Many people do not understand that sometimes you serve so that you can be positioned to greatness. Many people think that when they are being served, they are great. No. It is the aspect of serving that makes us to have energy. Let me break it and give it to you in a simple way. When you wake up in the morning every day, what is your thinking? Why are you waking up? Are you waking up so that you can save the world? Or are you waking up so that you can have rent money? Or are you waking up so that you can have school fees? The difference of our purpose of waking up determines the level or the conclusion of our life. Now, if you look at my first point, I hope I'll be clear. If you look at my first point on Sunday, I said pride, selfishness makes a person not to grow big. The same is in our motivation of survival. If you're planning and whatever you are doing is self-centered and there is no sense of service within, forget about the greatness. We are looking for few people who can wake up in the morning and saying, "I'm breathing such that I can make life easier in the world. I'm breathing such that I can serve the world." The moment one becomes a servant, surviving for the purpose of others, surely greatness will follow you. Now, leadership is described as such that one must be able to be surviving and living to make life easier for others. It was difficult for one to move from one nation to another until an inventor said, "Let me invent an aeroplane." When he invented an aeroplane, I tell you, he became one of the most powerful people in the world. It was difficult for satellite to function until one guy said, let me go to the moon so that we can see if we can make a function which can distribute to the whole world. There was a bigger purpose in the mind of Henry Ford to then manufacture a car which can be used as a automobile so that people can move around. If your purpose is bigger than your family, bigger than yourself, you've become a servant of the world. Greatness will follow you. But trust me right now, whoever is listening to me, I tell you 99% of people, you do wake up trying to save your family only. So in other words, because you are trying to save a smaller part of your life, whatever is driving you or pushing you does not give you serious energy to run faster than everyone. Because surely if you are waking up for rent money, there is no need for much sweat. There is no need for much sacrifice. Because what you are waking up for is almost to nothing. It's almost to nothing. But if inside your spirit, you are saying to yourself, I want to save my people. I want to assist my generation. I want to liberate those of my time or of the unborn child. It means your purpose inside your meditation has changed. By that moment, it means you have created fire behind you. It is always whatever is chasing us which determines the speed that we move on. So the energy that we need to succeed is always determined by whatever is chasing us. You want to become the greatest, you need to create fire behind you. If surely you want to become the greatest in the world, there must be a reason to wake up. There must be a reason to sleep late. There must be a bigger reason to go up a mountain. There must be a bigger reason which removes fear, because you need to greet the president to have the deal to be done. So fear is removed by the fire that is behind. Trust me, school fees is not enough. You need to create your own fire. You need to have your own determination. You need to put down things that are bigger than your own skin color. You need to have a plan that is bigger than your small compound, than your small community, than your small province, than your small nation. You need to create some fire that will push you early in the morning before you do anything. You want to sleep. Let me tell you the truth. Our body wants to sleep. Our mind wants to rest. But the fire behind you must say, okay, I have to sleep, but I have to wake up. And the fire must be the one that must make you to jump out of the bed and say, I don't have a choice. I do not have a choice. I have to wake up. Today I had a trip to one of the mines. I wanted to see one of the mines in the Midlands there. So I was there in the Midlands. There was congestion in the road. People were wearing masks, and you could tell that people are hustling. There is COVID. People are being told to stay inside doors. But I know, because there is rental that is also needed by end of January. People are saying we will cheat death because we need also to pay rent. The fire behind people is making people not to even stay at home. They are trying to cheat death because they feel inside, I need something to eat at home. So whatever motivates a man to be working, whatever motivates a woman to be working, it is the fire behind. If you study properly, you will notice that most men were lazy until the day they married. The moment there is that serious entanglement and there's an engagement between a man and a woman, and there is another person who is asking for money, a lazy man will start to be busy. So in other words, marriage and the partnership will bring energy to a person to be active. There's some manner in any success in this world. If you engage yourself to huge things, huge commitment, motivated by huge thoughts, good morning inspiration, and saying to yourself, I am waking up to change the world. I want you to say this to yourself tomorrow. I want you to see the amount of speed that you move with. I want you to see how fear is taken out of you. I want you to see the type of rivers that you cross. If you just say to yourself, I am waking up, not for my hair, not for my nails, not for my bills, but I'm waking up to change the world. The moment we have few children, the moment we have few people who are preaching to themselves and saying to themselves, I am waking up to change the world. I am a servant to the world. I will discover the cure of this one and the cure of this one. I'll bring a solution to this area and this area and this area. I'll make life easier for my company. I will be recognized because of my effort. That is becoming a servant. That is becoming a servant. Great success is motivated by the amount of energy you carry every day. That's why the devil's focus is to bring people who saps away energy from you. It is to bring confusion or to divert your energy to unnecessary points or unnecessary areas. Those that have lost energy, they have also lost their mind. You can only be sharp in thinking when your energy is at its highest level. That's why if you ask the fundis, the gurus of education, they will tell you that every child is more intelligent when it's cold. Why? Because they have kept their energy. Heat takes away energy. You see brilliance of people in the brain when it's cold. That's why in winter times people go to school, even in Africa, because a person is more brilliant when they've got all their energy. Energy is key even for your general thinking. Energy is key even for your general judgment. Energy is key even for removing fear to push you to another level. But now we have got a problem with my fellow Africans. 99% of every African, we do wake up without a motivation of changing the world. Rather, we do wake up with a mind of saying, let me be recognized, let me be seen, let me be felt I'm around, let me be loved, That's wrong. Let that come. But the first thing that must come to you is, let me have an impact to the world. Let my brains, let whatever I want to bring to the table be noticed. How can I make a perfect camera than the one that I am using? How can I make a perfect program than Instagram? How can I make a perfect chatbot than Twitter? How can I make a perfect interaction than Facebook? Look back, sit down, look back. How was Facebook created? Zuckerberg was at school. He wanted people to discuss notes after school, and he created Facebook to create an interaction. Now he is worth 23 billion and above just because he created a solution for the world. But he was at the same university with everyone. The difference with Zuckerberg and everyone at the university is he did wake up with a dream. He said to himself, how can I make life easier for my fellow schoolmates, so that after lessons, after school, we can have an interaction which is a bit visual, which has words and pictures. And when it worked at his university, he realized the world may enjoy this. And it went to the world. And almost every youth is on Facebook all over the world. They control data. They control what you post and what you do not post. They are the biggest voice of the world. Now there's YouTube, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Tumblr. They are increasing. Some people are seated and thinking, how can I make this better than last week? Others are waking up and saying, how can I find my hair to be done? How can I make my nails to be perfect? How can I find new face powder? How can I... The reasons of your survival will never give you enough energy for success. What is your reason of survival? Selfishness, unable to be responsible even to other children that are not capable to keep themselves. A true mother, I want you to hear me, a true mother who will go to the rural area and pick 2-3 children and say, I'll pay your school fees. Even if your wallet is not permitting, but you should pick somebody there in Shabane, there in Mondoro, there in 𝑐h𝑚𝑎𝑘𝑎 and say, I'll pay your school fees. Yes, we pray before we give and pray as well as we receive. Make that commitment which makes you to be busy. Which makes you to be busy. Ladies and gentlemen, unless we work our energy, true greatness can never be realized. In the book of Luke, chapter 22, as I conclude, 22 from verse 24, 22 from verse 24, they began to argue among themselves about who will be the greatest among them. In this world, the kings and great men lord it over their people, yet they are called friends of the people. Next verse. But among you it will be different. Those who are greatest among you should take the lowest rank, and the leader should be like a servant. The leader should be like a servant. People want to be great, but people are not ready to be servants. When you become a servant, you wake up early than everyone and sleep late than everyone. That's the servanthood that we know. And remember, this Bible was written on the correct time of servanthood, when black people were being transported as servants, and servants were being sold at a market on a Black Friday. So when we speak about servanthood, we are talking about deep sacrifice of work, which goes beyond the master's work. So Jesus is saying, become a servant to the extent that everyone will say how much she works hard, she's the greatest. How much he works hard is the greatest. I hope I'm not confusing you. I hope what I'm saying is very clear. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is very simple. I am saying you need energy. But for this energy to come into your system, you need to create a reason. You need to create a fire at your back. Something must motivate you. Engage yourself into something that is bigger. I come from a poor background. I come from one of the West communities. Born in Mondoro, passed through Zororo, Highfield there, went to St. Mary's, then went to Seke, then boom, Mavuk, then here. If you look at the locations that I passed through, there is no any exposure whatsoever. There is no any glory of those places whatsoever. If anyone is trying to throw a joke, they will talk about Chitungwism. If anyone wants to speak about poverty, they will speak about Zororo and they will speak about St. Mary's. I passed through those communities, and on my own, I juice myself. I tell myself, yes, my body wants to sleep, but can I change the world whilst I'm sleeping? No. So I give myself energy and I move with such a motivation. I want to change the world. 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 That is what I tell myself. If you as an elder, you have failed to give yourself such a theme, please don't deprive it to the young ones. Write a very big poster in your house. Let your children wake up thinking of how they can change the world. Let them be the master of giving us a better Zimbabwe, giving us a better Africa. It is all because of the purpose of waking up. Everything centered on you must always speak and say, I want to change the world. That is my preaching. Give yourself energy. Motivate yourself. Speak to yourself. Preach to yourself. Juice yourself. Jesus is speaking there. He's giving an instruction. And he's saying, become a servant. Humble yourself. Break yourself. Humble yourself. break yourself. It's a straight instruction. The book of Luke chapter 22, from verse 24, it explains, it's a straight instruction. Humble yourself to become great. We want to become great even in the kingdom of God. It is also upon us, all pastors, all bishops, all apostles, prophets, to then humble ourselves and to become servant, to have a heart of serving, such that we can also become great. Our greatness is resembled in servanthood.